You're watching Byline Wilmington on CBS 10 WILM. Here's your host, Don Ansell.
We're back. Our guest this morning in the first of a series of interviews on candidates who have announced they're running for the New Hanover County 9th District State Senate seat is local attorney Thom Gooslby. And before the break, we talked about the most expensive state Senate campaign in the last election cycle was the Bozeman-Lee campaign, spent $1.2 million. Any comments on that?
Well, Don, what does it tell you when you have to spend that kind of money to get a job that pays $14,000 a year? It tells you that you've got a state that can give out a lot of favors, and that does. When we look at the culture of corruption that pervades North Carolina politics right now, it's disgusting. We've got a governor from Southport that's probably facing indictment. We have his legal counsel that's just been indicted here recently. We've got, just one story after another. Local legislators going to jail, indicted, all the other things that we've seen here. And it should tell you something. It should tell you that something is rotten in the state of North Carolina.
What are you willing to spend, or what would you spend? Do you have a cap on what you'd spend
to win this seat?
Yeah.
I'm putting forward the $200,000 I have.
Right.
That's all I have. I mean, I'm
Are you
putting that
fundraising?
forward. Yes, I sure am.
So there'll be more than 200. I mean,
Absolutely.
Do you have any idea of what you'd spend?
As much money as I need to win this race.
And isn't that what Bozeman and Lee did?
Sure. And money came from all sorts of places, out of state, and.
Do you have a demarcation of who you'll take money from and who you will not?
Oh, I won't take money from anybody that I don't believe in them or their cause, or it's somehow tainted money. I mean, I have no desire to do that whatsoever, nor would I see why anyone would want to give me money from that standpoint, because I've clearly demarcated where I come from and what I believe in. I do not believe in growing big government. I do not believe in increasing the taxes. I mean,
Don't you think people give money, though, because they perceive that it will help them with access?
Maybe, but I think there's a real game change that has taken place in North Carolina. I have been to the Tea Party activities. I have gone out to the Americans for Prosperity meetings, the ABLE meetings here in town, all these things. And people are waking up. They're getting out. The big article in the Charlotte Observer today about that across the state. And it's finally being recognized since the win in Massachusetts. People are realizing there's a lot going on in North Carolina, and people are getting active. And I don't think the old rules apply anymore. All of this, well, you've got to do this for this corporate guy, you've got to do this for that one. No, people want honest legislators. They are tired of seeing this corruption that is everywhere, and they just can't believe it, and they are angry. And I do not blame them, nor do I discourage them.
Former UNCW Chancellor, Democrat, Jim Lutze has also announced his intentions to run, and could be the Democrat that either you or Michael Lee will face in November. What are your thoughts about running against Lutze?
I look forward to it. I think he staked himself out as very far left and left-leaning. He said that one reason he was running was because of all the retirements of Democrats and this entire loss of institutional knowledge. And I might
point out, though, that there is about an equal amount of Republicans and Democrats that are retiring from the state and on a national level.
Not here. Not in eastern North Carolina, and nor am I aware of any Republicans that are retiring because they've been indicted or are waiting to be indicted. I mean, that is a big difference. And if Mr. Lutze is literally running to help that Democrat machine continue to move forward in its culture of corruption and the things they've done and the taxing and spending, I think he's barking up the wrong tree from the beginning, and those are his own words.
Another possible candidate would be an independent, Wilmington City Councilwoman Christy Tomey, who might be on the ballot if she can get her petition signed by, I think, 5,700 people, something like that. How do you think that might affect the election?
I do not know. We have not had anything like that impact us recently.
Some are speculating that her support is more Republican and independent, because she is an independent. And that sort of could be a swing vote if it detracts from the Republican candidate. It could hurt the election
It
for Republicans?
It's possible. Those kind of things are possible. However, I have been with all of those Republicans and all of the independents who are coming out and engaging in politics right now. And I have not seen her at any of those events. I have not heard anyone talking about her at any of those events. So I've been with those people, and I consider those folks people that I have really worked hard to get the support of and to speak to. And I don't know where they're not with her that I've been able to see, so I really haven't seen that.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about some of the issues that are connected to this race.
Sure.
What's your take on the new economic film incentives that were passed by the legislature?
Don, I am happy to see anybody have their taxes reduced and everybody have their taxes reduced. I think what we have to do in North Carolina is see to it that we have across-the-board tax cuts for all businesses. The fact that we are the only state in the Southeast that taxes corporate income, personal income, and one of the highest sales taxes, along with the highest gas tax, is incredible, an incredible disincentive to do business in North Carolina.
So are you against the tax incentives for
I'm not against
the film industry?
Incentives that help bring business into our state. I want to see them fairly applied across the board.
So would you support tax incentives to the film industry?
I support all incentives to bring business into North Carolina, as long as we fairly apply those to businesses.
Does that include the incentives to Titan Cement to come here?
Well, now we're talking about a different thing. When you're talking about incentives in the tax industry, I mean, in the film industry, you're talking about tax credits, you're talking about, now when you start talking about local municipalities giving away money to bring businesses here, they give it to one business, but then the same people in the same business down the street don't get it. Oh, I have a lot of problems with those kinds of handouts. And the state doing, I mean, we can look at one mess after the other. We can look at Dell now just leaving all these thousands of people. You know, they have paid some of that money back, but again, though, it's a mess. And if you expect politicians to be able to run businesses for you, that's ridiculous and wrong. That's what the governor's running around the street saying now that she's declared herself to be the jobs governor. She's going to go around and she's going to have the SBA and she's going to have her Economic Development Commission tell you how to run your business. No, that's not the way we do it. We let businesses rise and fail on their own.
Okay, we're going to come back after a break and talk about another controversy in the state, talking about business. Should the state be in the business of selling alcohol? We'll come back and talk to Thom Gooslby when we return. Stay with us.